Okay, I want to welcome everyone to the last class of the theme design course. We're going to go over some neat techniques, I think, to show you how to do just a few more things within the graphics program, RealDraw Pro. And then we're going to go over just a couple of themes. So if we don't take the 2 hours, that's fine, because I've got enough to cover. But if we do take it, then that's okay too. But I've got it kind of timed today, and for what I have to show you, I think we'll probably be a little bit early, because unless you have specific questions about certain techniques. So these are pretty simple things to do. Okay, so what we want to do here is I want to show you, I'm going to give you guys this sheet. This is a layout that you can use. All you have to do is just come down here and just grab it. Just do a copy. It'll be on the website, and just do a paste. And see, that will drop that right into your project trim canvas. Now some of these graphics I created with fonts that are on my system. So it'll give you a maybe let's see if this one works. Oh, that works okay with Georgia. Let's see. I know I have another one in here that, okay, this one doesn't. I know the fonts are not on the system, well, especially since I moved over to this new system. This new computer. So let's just, I'll show you what I mean here. So you can use these. You just, of course, have to change the text. All you have to do is just double click on it, and it says it was another font here. Now these fonts, I'll also put the path on here where you can download these fonts for free. These fonts are free fonts. They're just not on my new system, but I didn't want to put them on here to show you. You may have some problems with this. So here's a Jenkins version 2 font that works really well. But you can use these same layouts and just change it to your specific header. So anyway, they're header text layouts, and it will give you an idea of how you can really make some neat layouts for not just stick with just doing some graphics and doing a drop shadow on them and doing a little bit of bevel on it. So you can do a background, and you can do some different things here, and they're available. All you have to do is just cut and paste them, and then you can just make them yours. So different techniques, different fonts, and you can change the colors on these. Of course, they're fully editable within RealDraw Pro. Okay, so let's go here. Let's get rid of this one and this guy. But see, you can change these to whatever you want. So just a real fast one here. We just do effects, drop shadow, if that's what you wanted, and you can do a little bit of bevel on it if you'd like. And that changes it a little bit. So you can do your own thing on these, and I think this is Georgia also. Yeah, Georgia. So you should have Georgia as a TrueTime font if you're using a Windows machine. But I'll put the path to the site where I pull these down, these fonts, and you'll have full access to that. Any questions? We're all good? So Jeff's saying new file for RealDraw Pro setup only had 2 of the boxes. Only had wheels and layers, huh? Wheels and layers. You didn't get the bevel on the right-hand side and the transparency box? Diane, did you have that problem when did you download the new file? Because I basically saved the file, the setup, from from within my real draw, so it should save the setup. I'll have to check that out. I mean, even if let's just close this down. Let's close down this deal. Let's go back to let's do the layout. Let's go back to let's just do reset. Okay, there's the default RealDraw Pro layout. So let's just go to load the layout that I have. So I just got to go find it. Let's see, I think it's on an external hard drive. Here it is right there. It just loaded just fine. So there's your two boxes. Layers, wheel, bevel, and transparency. Let's load. I think I have a newer update, but it should still be the same layout. Yeah, so it's still loading the 4 for me. I don't know what. Let's see. Are you on 5.2.3? That should be the latest revision. is the latest one. Are you using the paid version, or are you using the the demo version should still work. I don't see why it wouldn't work. So 5.2.3 and you should be okay. I know that when we started the class, I think that it was a earlier version. I know when I went to this new machine, I had to download the latest version. Okay, so let's get going here. Let's get rid of some of these. Okay, we're going to do hue first, so let's do a text. Let's go impact. Yeah, let's take it up a little bit. Okay, so we've got hue and saturation. I'm going to show you a real easy technique to change these. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to open up I've got some shade templates you can use. Let's just copy this and paste it right in here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to change this to this color right here. This is how we're going to do it. So we're going to go let's paste this inside. So see what I did here? All we did to change this is you have here, let's just do an undo. I didn't even undo it. Okay, let's make sure that it is in fact picked. Okay, let's change it back to black. Let's actually change it to another color so you can see it a little bit better. Change it to a yellow. Okay, we're going to change it to this color right here. So how we're going to do that is we're going to pick this, done that, you can just do a paste inside. So you can do a copy on this, and then you can just do a paste inside. You don't do a regular paste, just paste inside. See how that changes the hue over to this? We can do this on another page. Just grab this one, paste it in here. Okay, so let's do a copy on this, and then we just do a paste inside. See how that changes that? It goes from the blue that we had a minute ago. Again, we can just do a copy on this, and then just do paste inside. See, it changes it back to the blue. Copy, and then paste inside. And then, this, you might want to do an outline on this so you can make this look a little bit better, a little solid outline. And you could do a drop shadow on it. And that looks pretty good. So see how that changed just based on these colors? Let's grab another one. Let's do a green. Okay, so we want to do copy and then paste inside. See how that changed that? A little yellow, a little green. Okay, now if these colors don't suit you, you can make your own. I want to show you a real simple technique to make your own colors. Okay, let's get this back to where it's a single color again. Actually, let's see if we can, I think we might be able to change this just to black. Nope, it's already had too many changes on it. Okay. All right, hue and saturation. Let's actually do copy. Let's make a copy of this, paste. Let's just put this aside so we can work with that later on. Maybe bring this down a little bit. Another color. Okay, so that's should be jumping off the page at you. All right, now how we can do this is you just need the rectangle tool. So let's go over here to the rectangle tool, and we just add a rectangle. Just go like one up here at the top, and let's just make this blue. Let's make another rectangle. And let's make this yellow. Okay, let's just put these together so there's no white in between them. Looks good. All right, now you just click on the top one, hold the Shift key, grab that one, and we can just group the objects or create a package. Let's just create the package. There's our package. Now let's just copy this, and let's just do paste inside. See what happened there? We went blue and yellow, but it's a real sharp line. So that's all we had to do. You can unpackage these two. Let's make this a little bit bigger. And you can select both of them also and just do a copy and do a paste inside. Okay, so see that cuts down. I mean, you've got a sharp line through there. Now, how these are blended a little bit. And how can we do that? Real simply by just going over here, and let's just do a gradation on the blue. So let's put a gradation on it, and then all we have to do is click on our angle, right click, and put 90. Right? Well, it sticks. So 90, enter. Oh, it's not picked, that's why. Okay, so let's see, this is, and then you can back this off with the slider a little bit, so you make it a little bit more of a gradation there. See, we're backing that off. So that's 90 degrees. Let's take the yellow and do the same thing. That'll soften it down a little bit. So we're going to make it a linear gradation. We're going to right-click, make it 90 degrees, and then we're just going to back this off a little bit so that it blends very nicely. I should probably make that a blue and green. Let's just see if we can make this a green. I think the color will work a little bit better. And let's back that off. Now, let's make it a little bit more transparent because it's really bright right now. So let's back that off on a transparency. Same with the blue. Let's make it a little less bright. Okay, then we can just grab both of these, copy them, click on our lettering, paste inside, and see now we have the blue and the green saturation. Okay, now how we can cause this to get rid of this straight line across here is we can do this even more. So what we can do is we do the gradation. Here with the area color, so you can change this around. I don't know why that doesn't want to stick. So that blurs it a little bit more. So you get rid of, and this is something you're just going to have to play around with. There's just no easy way to do these. But they're down and dirty ways to make gradations. Okay, and we may want to, let's see, the angle on this, we've got to change the angle again to 90. Grab them both, copy, and do a paste inside. Now we've got the two lines. I took them too far. Sorry about that. Paste inside. Still a pretty strong line, so you know that you got to work with this to get this line. You can see how dark it is here. This is a different blue, and of course you can change these. You can cause that to be even a lighter blue or green or whatever you want. So green, blue, back it off a little bit. It's more of a purple though. But you get the general idea. That's how you can change, this stuff. Okay. Now, I want to show you another technique to create reflections, and this is probably the best technique to do it. I've been playing around with this, so it is a real great way to do reflections. So you have your text. You got to do your effects before you do. Well, before we go on here, any questions with what we've done so far with the gradations? Okay. So let's just do a shadow, drop shadow, and we do our bevel on here. Let's back the bevel off a little bit. And let's make it another color. Let's make it a blue. That's nicer looking. Okay, so we want to copy that. So just do a copy, paste. That actually looks much better just with both of them. So let's just do a paste. And then we want to do a copy, paste, bring this down underneath, and then we're going to flip it. object flip. There we go. Vertical. Well, it only flipped one of them. That's what we needed to package that. So let's do this. Let's do undo. Not going to work. So copy, paste, and we can just, let's just group them actually. I can group them later. And let's flip the object. All right, now, before we showed you different gradients that you could use on this. This is a really great way to do this. So because reflections are a lot lighter, we want to put a transparency on it, so we want to really back it down. So, you know, we're really light on that. And let's move it down a little bit to where, give it a little bit more room. That looks good. Now what we want to do is we want to get a rectangle tool, do the rectangle, bigger than your text object. So we do a rectangle. And we want this white. So it has to be white. And I didn't want to do that. No texture. So it's white. Now we're going to put a gradient on it. So we do the texture. But it should be, oh, that's why, because we have our second color. We want white. Okay, so we grab our gradient. We should have a where the heck is my gradient? Where'd my gradient go? Oh, here we go. All right, so you go over here to transparency, linear, gradient. So you want to grab this tool right here and put it right in the center, this little button. Bring this mode right up here and vertically. I don't know, let's actually color this so you can see it. And we're going to make it white though. You see what this is doing? See how we're aligning this? Okay, let's do this again. So you get rectangle tool so you can see it, and we're going to make it white, but we're going to color it so you can see it. Bigger than your object. Okay. Now go to your transparency, click on linear, grab this node right here, and pull it over to the center. Take this and move it up to where it's vertical. See how that puts the little white line across it right there? All right, now we're going to make it white. And we're just going to move this box up. See what that does? Look at that. Right there. See, there's your, how come that has a shadow on it? We don't want that. All right. Let's get rid of this. I think that's good. Now let's make it a little bit bigger. Linear. Pull this over to the middle. Go vertical on this. And then you can just move it up. All right, now when you take a look at that, I don't know why this has a, oh, you know, because it has a bevel on it, that's why. Or what does it have on it? I'm not sure why it has, oh, it has a linear gradient, that's why. That's what's going on. I put 2 on it. But once you do that, once you save it, all you have to do is just you save it down to your panel so you can hit it every single time. So we should have, is that correct? Yep, we're good. I'm pretty sure. Do our linear gradient. And then just move that guy up. Still has a shadow around her. It looks like it's a bevel. Be doggone. Well, I got to work with that one. I'm not sure what's wrong with it. Well, once you save it, so all you have to do is just pull it down, and then you save it. So all you have to do then is, I'm going to get rid of this because I don't want it in my styles. So on your transparency, so I already have one saved here. All I would do is I draw my box, and then I just click on the gradient, and it's already done. So something in there is screwed up because it's putting a line around it. But see, there's a shadow around it. That's, I'm not sure what's broken on that right now. But anyway, you can move this around, and you get the idea. Because if you take a look at this, cut that out. There's a line down here. But there's your reflection off of your main object. So we could probably move that up a little bit better or more and make it a little closer. Not sure why that has a line around it. I'll work on that later and see what the problem is. But we can certainly make that a whole lot bigger so that it doesn't show at all. So there you go. There's your, and you got to do your export. See, there's your reflection, and there's your main. So that's a real easy way to do your reflections. It's probably a little bit faster. All right, makes sense? Any questions? Questions, concerns? We're all good? Okay. Let's take a look at the next one here. Text path. Okay, if you want a specific path, let's get our text out here, and you want to curve it around an object or put it on a path. This is how you do it. Let's go up here to impact. Okay, so let's just grab a circular tool, make it real easy, and let's just make it blue. Now we want our text to fit somewhere on this path, and this is how you do it. You select your text, shift, select your object, and then come up here to bitmap, or text, excuse me, follow path. Now I'm going to show you interactive in just a second, but this will put it on the outside, and just automatically, so it will curve all the way around your object, come all the way back to the beginning. All right, so text, follow path, grab these again, stretch center, so it will center it around the outside. So I'm grabbing my text, shift, and grabbing my object. I want to curve the text around. Follow path, stretch inside, and of course we want to send this to the back. You'll see how that puts it on the inside all the way around it. Okay. Well, that didn't do my text, but I guess I should have made a copy of that, so in case I messed it up. So here's our text. Let's do a copy, do a paste, move this off. So, all right, going to grab the text again, shift, grab the object, go text, follow path, repeat outside. So see, it just repeats the text now and it follows this around the object. Let's just do an undo. 1, 2, text, follow path, repeat center. So we'll center it around the outside. So of course, you have to do your drop shadows and anything you want to do on that. You're going to need to do that first. So that didn't want to take easily, so we'll just do a copy, paste, so we don't have to do this again. Grab it, text, follow path, repeat inside. Okay, now here's what we can do to cause this to not be upside down. All right, so, well, I want to show you one more thing actually before we do this. Let's go to text and then interactive. So interactive, you can basically set this up exactly the way you want it. So see, you get your object to path. So you can say on the outside, you can center line, you can do the inside, and then you can percentage of the path. You can move it around. So, you know, that's exactly, interactive is totally interactive. You can change it, you can do whatever you want. Again, grab your text, grab your object, text, follow path, interactive. You get this fit object to path, and then if you percentage, it turns it white so you can edit it. But percentage of path length is say like 45%. It'll put it there. You want 90%? Put it on this. So, basically put nothing in there, you get all of your text back. Now you can center line it again, inside, and if you do the inside, of course, there's your curve. So, but you have to do your drop shadows and anything you want before that you do this, because I think I tried this before and it didn't work. Oh, it does work now. Okay, cool. So you can do this afterwards. Very nice. This must be the new version. Wow, that's great. So you can do your bevels, different blue. So you can, set this up. Let's just do a copy, paste, give it a little more depth. There you go. So there's your object with your text following the path. Okay? And you can see how that's going to look in your bitmap object, obviously. So you've got your curve your text easily, and it just curves right around the path there. All right, everyone see how to do that? Okay, very good. No questions? All right. Let's just do one more. All right, let's take a look at the next on the list. Reflection. We just did image sharpen. Okay, I'm going to show you how to sharpen your images, Jeff. This will you can show exactly how to do those images. Get rid of the stuff on those images. All right, so let's import an image. Well, let's see, where's my image? images. Well, let's just go find another image. Doesn't matter. All right, let's grab this popcorn image. Oh, that's pretty big. Let's bring it down. Okay, well, that's a white background, but I'm going to show you how to, this image, if we bring it down, well, actually I need a picture of a person, because this is not going to work without a picture of a person. Person is much easier to see. So let's see if I can find my my stock images again. I guess they're just, I didn't bring them over. So let's go try. I've got one more place I'll try, and then I'll just give up. There we go. So let's grab this image. Okay, so it's 100%. So we're bringing this image in. So that's a pretty sharp image. So let's just go ahead and bring this down. Okay, I don't know if you can see on the screen. It might be that you cannot see, but this image is degrading significantly when you bring it down. Now, this is how you sharpen it back up and restore the quality. There's a little square right here. You notice when you run your cursor over it, it's in the top left-hand side. It will turn into an arrow. If you just hold down your mouse button, see it'll say sharpness. So all you have to do is like go up to like 20 or 21. Boom. See how sharp that came back in? See how diffused that is? Let's just do this. Take it up to about 20, 21. See how that brought that image back? Very nice. Okay, so that is a real easy way to sharpen up your images when you're moving them around like this and they really start to degrade. You've got the little box, go up to about 20, 21 or so, and it just brings that image right back to sharpness. Okay, now we've already manipulated that image enough, so let's just bring it in. Bring it in again. It's large. Let's see that. Let's grab this header. 233. That's good. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to drop out. We're going to make the background transparent, which is everyone knows how to do this. You go to your transparency tool. You just click on the background. Now you can change your transparency tool right here with tolerance. So you can slide this up and down depending on, you know, how much you want it to grab. And I think that is, see the white in here is not done, so. Whoop, that got rid of everything. So let's not undo that. That's where our tolerance comes in. Let's slide this back a little bit. There we go. And that's still a little white by our ears, so you see that's still white right here, so let's just go grab that. Okay, now, you may not be able to see it. Let's bring this image up and see if you can just see a little bit. There's a little bit of outline around, see the white up here and stuff? You want to clean this up? This is a great way to do it. Right over here, we just go to our burst, and then we just right-click on it and set it to 1. See, it cleans that stuff right up. Cleans the outside images right up. Let's bring in another image really I've had some difficulty with. Let's grab this header. Oh, that's already transparent. Let's go to my photos. And hopefully you can see that. Let's see what we can grab here. This would probably be a good one. Well, actually, the Apple icon works really well. Okay, so as you can see here, see it's a white background, and you can see the edge. There's a shadow on it. Okay, so what we want to do is we take our transparency tool, click on that, see how that all went away. But see, there's just a little bit of noise around here. So we just we go over here to burst, pick burst, right-click on a slider, and just choose one. And see, it cleans all that noise up. It makes it a little bit sharper around there on the shadows, so you don't have that edge. So when you had the edges around your objects here, so this white around the edge, I think that will do a lot to clean those edges up, just using that technique. Okay, so that's a real easy way to set that up. And let's do a practical application here. Let's just do this, grab the apple, and let's do this again, grab the apple. And let's do follow path. Let's do interactive. See, look at that, how that's completely following that path. It even follows it around here. So let's cancel this out. Let's go here. So you can get it to follow the path around the apple. Let's do stretch outside. And see, that takes it all the way around the outside. I mean, not the greatest thing in the world to show you that, but it does works very well. So let's copy, paste, and maybe bring that down a little bit. Pick the object, follow path, interactive. That's pretty interesting. You just slide this along and see where you can move the text. Oh, too much. Let's come back here. Let's go to about 59, see where that puts us. Yeah, we're starting to get out to where it goes over the side. But that's real interesting. So you can put your curve, you can put your text right around the side of that apple. Pretty neat. All right, so let's see if we can undo that. Save the text. Oh, too many changes on it. So let's go down here. Okay. Any questions on those techniques? Curve to path and dropping out getting rid of the noise in the background. Everyone's good? All right. Let's do let's see here. Let's see if Boolean is working. All right, so let's do undo here. So this is you can combine images, you can combine objects. Let's say you wanted to combine these two objects and make them one. You can do that very easily. Just click here, and do object, combine objects, Boolean, union, intersect, or subtract. You play around with these, and well, actually, there's an easier way to do this. Let's just do a circle, and let's do a star. That's not very. All right, so what you can do here is show you exactly how this works. Just easy to grab both objects this way and then do object, follow, no, we want to combine Boolean, okay. So on this one, see, it takes and it makes this actually transparent. So if we put something in here, you could put something right behind here. So you take two objects and you can take the transparency right out of the middle. Drop your text in the background, image, whatever you want, bitmap, export, and there's your image. So you've created it. Basically drops out the center. Okay, that's the first one. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that back. No. So object, star, and then we'll just grab the whole, all the objects here and do a convert. Let's see, where the heck are we? Combine object, Boolean union. Keep getting lost here. And that will combine both of them, both units. Okay, so let's, I think they're basically grouped. No, they're combined. Okay, so let's draw another circle, another object. And these are more advanced techniques, so you're going to have to play around with these to see how they're going to fit into your design stuff. You don't have to use them. You just, you know what these things do now. So here's the star. Let's make this another color. Let's make this black. And let's grab both. Object, intersect. So wherever those intersect gets cut out on the intersect, okay? So, there's lots of things you can do with these, just giving you some ideas. I don't want to go too much into text to use. We already went over that. Create an arrow. I don't think we're going to do the arrow because it's really ugly to try to do, and I never have really got them. Well, we can try it. Okay, so to create an arrow, you can do, here's what you want to do is called add curve. So you click here. Once you start your object, you want to just, and then you basically just release the mouse key and it starts the curve. And then you want to make it curve even more. It'll start curving over. You hold down your key and it will start curving over even more. And you click on it, and that's how you do basically a curve. Bring it back to the object, and then it colors it in. Okay, on an arrow, I've tried this many times. It is very difficult to do, but we'll give it a go. So we start here. Let's get our curve going. I'll let the key go. All right, so now we're just drawing the arrow. See, I murdered this poor thing. See, I'm not good at this. Well, forget the arrow. What a mess. Let me show you how to make an arrow right here. Here are the arrows. And that's what I basically do. In fact, you've got a lot of objects down here. So you got arrows, you have balloons, you have miscellaneous. You just have to draw them in, pull them up. So you have these textures, multimedia. So you're doing something with the CD. Here's your image for compact disc, already ready to go. Office, check mark. You're doing a sales page. There's a great little check mark right here. You want to add effect to it. Drop shadow. Boom, right there. That easy. You just did one. You want to make it smaller check. Just bring it down. And there you go. Smaller yet, just bring it down even more. So you see your sales pages with the check marks on them. That's how you do it. And of course we have all of these objects down here. I guess it's some guy's drawings, Samuel Marcius or something. I have no clue who that is. I never use these, but these are line drawings. Gives you other objects. And then, of course, signs, thumb up, yin and yang, if you're doing feng shui or oriental. More check marks. Another check mark. Peoples. So you've got just, a lot of objects down here that you can play around with. But the arrows, I grab all my arrows out of here because they're just so much easier. As you just saw, I can't draw an arrow very well. But you want to color these, same thing. You can just color them right over here. Make this a red arrow. Here's your red arrow. Actually, that's not even a really good red. Let's make it a little bit more saturated. Too much. Gradation. You can put a gradation on it. Bottom, side, top, whatever you want to do. That works, I think, a little bit better, that color, to see with for gradation. But you get the idea. So you've got your objects right here that you can easily create your 3D objects. Lots of arrows. Here's a little green arrow I use occasionally, and I usually just pull this down, make it a little bit bigger. But it's already gradated for you. All you have to do is do a drop shadow on it. You're set. Just that easy. All right, so there's objects. Curve your text. What have we done? Reflections, hues, and saturation. I think that's about it for some of the advanced stuff. Any questions? All right, let's go over here and take a look at in themes. A theme that I recently created. Get this down to where it's a little bit more manageable. I don't have to move so many things around. Okay, let's see what was gonna. Okay, I'm going to show you this particular theme, and this is actually one of my themes that we put out on a membership site. But I want to show you exactly how I created this theme. All right, so for the graphics themselves, let's go back over here to get started on the new palette. We want to choose our size, so I think this is about 900. I think it's about 2. And then what I did was I actually found these graphics on a PLR product. And I basically just cut them out, and then I used a little bit of grading in there to drop them out from the background to show you exactly how I did this. If I can find the original graphics on here. So let's see, photos. I think these, yeah. So here was one of my objects I found on a PLR product, and so we're going to see, bring this down, and when we do that, see, we lose quality, so you want to grab this, sharpen it up a little bit. See, that brings it right back up to some decent quality. We have to bring it down a little bit more. Again, sharpen it up. Now I think that will fit. So what I did on here was I created a little bit of transparency with that. So I blurred the outside edges, see, so it just drops onto the white. You can move that anywhere. And then we're going to drop our other image in here. And this is really going to degrade when we drop this down, wherever it went to, too far. Okay, so a couple of things we're going to do on this. Let's just keep this fairly large. Let's just show you how to drop this out. Do the background. Transparency tool to do this. Let's get rid of some of that. I think we're okay with the others here. Yeah. All right, so we've got rid of that. Let's bring this down a little bit, which is really going to impact the quality. We just take our quality tool, our sharpness tool, go back up here to about 2023. See how sharp that drops right back in there? Just bring it down a little bit more. And then we're going to do the fade on this also, linear. Okay, I think that will do it. I think we're good on that. Now what I did for the cosmetic surgery here, how I did this was I took we do a square. Just grab a square here. Let's actually move this. That looks okay. Now let's change this over to that flesh tone. Now I'm going to go to my paintbrush over here, paint object. Remember we talked about this last week. Go to normal, default set, Live Painters 2. I'm going to grab this object. And I'm just, going along this edge, just kind of messing with the edge. Different. Doesn't have to be perfect. If you just want to hold down the key, this is what I do on a lot of them. I just hold down and I just run along the bottom. Remember, it has to be a different color than what you're doing so you can see what you're doing. Okay, so go back to our arrow here, our object, and we want to click on the inside, shift, click on the outside so we combine our objects, and then we come down here and we do the subtract objects, right? So look at that. See, we've just taken this square and we've turned it into a torn edge kind of box looking thing. I don't like this steel hole hanging out there, so let's grab our tool again. Now let's just take care of that. Okay, so back to our object selector. We've got 3 objects in here now, so we have to select all of them. I just created another object by doing that. Pull that out, so that got rid of that edge sticking out there. So that's what we did here. Now, that created a setup for my text. I'm going to put an effect on here of a drop shadow. All right, so see how that worked? Now, we can take this up just a little bit more. It's not going to hurt anything. And on this particular image, I have a cosmetic, so what I did was I create a text object, and I think this was in Impact. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay, we want to make this not too much. There we go. I think that will work. Now let's put a drop on it, drop shadow, and a bevel it. We're going to do a smooth bevel. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to do a copy, and I'm going to do a paste, and I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to save this over here so in case this gets messed up, but we'll have a backup. Okay, so I'm going to combine those 2 objects. And again, I'm going to go to Paintbrush, and I'm going to go to my object here, and I'm just going to skip it across. And then we pick on our object selector. Let's choose our text. Hold down the Shift key. It's not working here, so let's do this. There we go. So there's 2 and 3. So now we're going to do our subtract. Oop, I got rid of everything. So let's do an undo. All right. Now we can go over here to layers and see which layer comes up. There's the text. Shift. There we go. I think that'll work. We'll see what happened here. We did the subtract on it, and so now we've got this skip across here because I just wanted this effect. See how that just tears up the top layer, leaves the bottom layer intact. And then, of course, the next thing I did was I put in surgery, which was a totally different font. Let's see what. And we're going to make this a little bit different color. Drop shadow. And let's see what an outline will do with this. I don't think I did that on the original. Let's just take a look at it. It works okay. Let's put a smooth bevel on it. There we go. So that's the header. That's exactly how I created it. Took these objects, brought them in, created the square, colored it with the same color of the lips here, did the two. See, this one is skipped totally over the top of this one. This one's intact. Let's move that back. And then, so it just made this little top layer. And then I just got a little bit different shading in there, but you get the idea. And then created the surgery part, cosmetic surgery. There's your header. Okay, any questions? Pretty straightforward. Too complex? Everyone still get it? It's okay? All right. And then, of course, I basically pull this over. In fact, you could do a lot of things with this. You could do let's just do an export here of this, which makes it. Let me do one more thing with this. Let's copy paste. Is that too much? I think that's too much. I'm just not liking that font too much, though. So let's pick another font. Let's do Arial. I think that's too thin, that font, Batang. These are all, let's go Arial Black, Arial Narrow. I don't think I like the Arials for that. Broadway, I think, would be 2. Although that looks pretty good. G kind of falls apart, though, doesn't it? Yeah, that looks good, I think. Good color and easily readable. That's the whole idea. Okay, so let's export that. Let's call it header 2. And what I did here was I just did a simple, well, let's just go from the beginning. Let's go to New. And we're going to bring the header in. So let's import the header. going to resize it. I'm going to get rid of the glare. Get rid of the headline and the tag, the slogan. And on the sheet, this is what I'm talking about padding. Go no padding. So it takes the edges and moves them, out. May just have to go so we can see this. There we go. All right, now colors. I think this was simple. I guess not. Not sure what color I did on this one. Maybe sunflower, and then I did some changes on it. No, let's just try simple. Let's take a look at the original here. Guess I can't open up the original anyway. We'll just work with it. So let's get rid of the, just want the header. I don't want the menu bar up here. And we want the background to be white. So we're going to change that. I'm pretty sure that was, I thought it was simple, but I guess it's not. See, maybe it was water and ice. No, it's blue. Coral Island, maybe that's it. That looks more like it right there. If you want those colors to be basically the same. Actually, on this one, this is what I did. I put that image as a background image instead of a header. So let's do that. Because I did not put it as a header. We're going to top center it. We're going to get rid of the header we currently have to no header. Just a simple sheet. And we're going to top offset this. It's going to go down probably 200. Okay, I think that works. All right, now for the background, we want to make sure we fix. We don't want it to scroll, we want it fixed. Okay, so that's that right there. That looks okay. We might take the sheet, move the sheet in just a little bit. Let's see what the width is. We're at 926. Let's just say 900. Let's see how it looks. I think that looks a little thinner, a little bit better, so it doesn't hang out so much on either side. All right, so on this guy, I think our background, we're good with the color. I think if we take a look at this, we should be there we are. So we're pure white, and that pretty much, I think, works with everything. One more thing on the sheet. I want to do a little glow or shadow on it just to offset it from the background. Let's see what a shadow looks like. Let's see what a glow looks like. I think the glow looks better on this gray especially. Okay, now we want to change these colors and also get rid of or I do anyway, the date. So we get rid of the date, the author, edit, category, tags, and comments. Go to table, make sure the border width is no border. Border width on picture, no border, so that gets rid of any issues you're going to have down here with a 1 pixel border. And then I want to change these to more of a color that is conducive to this this setup, which will be let's go under blocks. Change that first. So here's the guy we're working on right here. So let's get our Pixie tool out, because I want to make an exact duplicate of this color right here. Drop this in. Let's move this over to see what color. So there's our color. See when we scroll, that's nice when we roll over. Okay, I like that. Our blocks, let's take a look at our fill on that. And you can see that the blocks right here, this is what we're working with, these search categories archive. These are the colors. We want this color that we just picked again. See how that changes that color? And the shading on that does not look bad at all. So if we do a gradient on that, if you take a look and see how you can change this, make it a little bit darker. Glare, so you can do just a number of different things. That's too much, I think. But the first one I think worked pretty well. It's just a real simple shade glare, and I think that works just fine. Okay, now this pink or whatever this color is down here at the bottom, we want to change the footer. So we go into the footer, pick one of our RSS colors, or icons, and we want to make that the same color. I want to make that the same color. It's strictly up to you, whatever you want to do. You can make it the same color or just completely drop it out. Now add a little bit of transparency to it, or gradient, excuse me. Let's go with special and see how that works. So that pops it up a little bit and gives it a little bit of a see, light at the top, dark at the bottom, which is the same as these guys. Light at the top, darker at the bottom. Okay, then we may want to change our font here, although this font looks pretty decent. So we can go into colors and fonts, change our set to maybe classic or something that, whatever you like. Elephant, I think, bolds up the text a little bit more than I like on this one. Palatino, too much, I think. Georgia, let's see what Georgia looks like. Lucinda Grande, or Grand, or however you pronounce it. That's usually pretty good. Now I want to see how this dropped the scale of the font down here on the WordPress. You want to change that scale back up to 110, 120, so it makes it so you can read it again. Other than that, though, I think that's pretty decent. I leave the page transparent. You see how when you go over the header, it just shows through the page. And because it's white, it's not going to hurt anything. But see how we sharpened this up, dropped it in, took our square box, tore off the edges around it, put two text objects on top. Again, skipped across the top one, so we made this a little bit unique. And then dropped in our surgery at the bottom. I don't like the S. I may change that later on. But see how this fades in. It's all white, very clean looking design, very clean looking template. And that's what it's all about. That is a custom template. And the footer here, we were talking about the footer earlier, transparent. If you don't know how to do that, just go to transparency, go 100%, and that'll completely take that out to white. So that is a very clean looking template. I happen to like the those little footers, so we'll drop that in. Actually, the 20% transparency I think looks pretty decent. Makes it a little bit more subtle color. Kind of gives it the same look as when you roll over this square that the cosmetic text is on. So that fits right in. All right, any questions on that? I think it's pretty straightforward. You take a look at this in a browser. We want to preview it, Firefox and Internet Explorer. There's your theme. Let's get rid of this Pixie. There's the theme, and it was, I think, pretty easy to do. So we may want to drop this image down a little bit. Maybe the lips are just too much jumping off the page, but I think that works. Any questions, any comments about that? How I did that? Questions, concerns, comments? You guys are quiet today. Okay. Let's go on to the one more thing that we can do with this. I want to show you just a real simple technique. So we made the header graphic, right? And this is a really clean design. I like this design a lot. Well, let's get funky in here. We already have the tear across the text, and we have the tear around the background. Let's tear this and put a drop shadow on it also. And how we do that is with Faststone. I think most of you guys have Faststone. We're just going to open the JPEG that we created within RealDraw Pro. So we just go find that particular JPEG. It's in my photos. Let's go up here and being cosmetic surgery. So let's get this header. So we put this in here. Now we're just going to go up here to edge, and we do torn edge. And I want it on the top, the left, the right, and the bottom. And I want the torn edge to be 10. Now you can fade it and put a watermark on it, but this works just fine. We're going to just tear that. See how that just put that around there so easily? It did get into the G a little bit, but that's okay for demonstration purposes. We're going to call this header 3. And we're just going to import that into our artist here. And that's a background image, remember. So we're just going to grab that image, header 3. We're going to top center. And see, because we've already had the torn look here, and we just tear this. So, you know, and then we want to fix it. We want to fix the scrolling so that we scroll across the image. We don't want the whole thing to scroll with us. So then it scrolls across. And that makes it even look more dramatic. So you've got torn edges on torn edges with a little bit of a drop shadow, and then at 200 offset, that puts your page right down here at the bottom. And see how that works? I think that works really well. Either way, works really well, and it's a custom design. So if you have a PLR product, this is a real easy way to change your PLR product over with a new theme, and do very well. You know, if you're flipping them. Okay, guys, that's what I wanted to show you today. I'm actually done about 30 minutes early. I really don't have any more. If you have specific questions about any of the techniques I've showed you, now's the time to ask that we go over them. But if not, I'm just going to wish you guys a great New Year's 2010, very successful 2010, and we'll call it a day with the theme design course. Any questions? Okay, guys, take care. I appreciate your indulgence, and if you have any questions, just PM me. Everyone on this call knows how to get a hold of me, I think, and we'll chat later on. The video will be, or this particular webinar will be out on the site in just a few hours. Take care again. Have a great New Year's Eve, and be safe. Please don't drink and drive. We'll see everyone later on. Thanks for attending the class.